What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks, and Kurt is back. Took a break from crushing the EuroLeague to join us to talk about some National Basketball Association action. And guys, it's only a 2-game slate here today, so we're going to have some time to delve in to some other topics. What a great night we had in the association last night. Tyler, let's start with you. Tough loss there for us with the Pelicans, right? Dyson Daniels can't make the free throws. I think we would have covered that one for sure. But what did you see in that game, and what else did you see alongside the association?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer these role players for the Lakers can just continue to hit their shots. I know Lonnie Walker's a pretty solid player, but I don't trust many of these other guys. So they're hitting their threes right now. I don't think that lasts much longer. This team will it'll have a nice little spurt for a few games. They'll look great, and then they'll just drop right back down to being a bad team because these role players aren't going to be consistent. And then, I mean, it's just I can't believe we didn't cover that game spread. Like, -3, at the line, up 3. All you got to do is make one free throw. Dyson Daniels misses them both. Yeah. And then Matt Ryan, a DoorDash driver, catches the ball in the corner and he just throws up a 3 and it falls perfectly in. And they flip the game and they win it by 3 in overtime. So sucks to end the night, but at least we got the Hawks money line home spread. The Knicks just came out flat in the second half. They got dominated. Hawks took that game over and never looked back.
Yeah, that free throw was the difference for us between 2 and 2 and 3 or 1, right? Because, of course, I gave out the Cleveland Cavaliers money line. Kurt, did you watch any of the games last night? And I do want to talk about the Cavaliers versus Celtics because that was one of the best games of the NBA season last night. Did you have eyes on that one, or did you have eyes on the association at all last night, or were you scouting European prospects?
Yeah, so I was following along. It was a work bench night for me. So
nice. You must be back to full health then.
Yeah, very, very close. So I was following along, but I didn't get to watch anything. I think actually I did watch the beginning of the Celtics game, but that's only like 5 minutes because I'm a Celtics fan. I was loving the Anthony Davis 6%. Every single lineup for me last night cashed. Won a lot of tickets. It was a good night. Good night for Anthony Davis to be extremely low owned. I'm continuing to love the ownership that we're getting on some of these guys in the NBA. It's hilarious. People just jamming in all chalk and plays that are just almost just as good or going completely unowned. So it's been a great year for NBA.
All right, and you're loving it so far. Tyler, did you see that Celtics game? That was awesome. Did you see how Jason Tatum sent the game to overtime?
Yeah, that was a great game. And this Cavs team spread, I mean, they're going to be tough to beat. I mean, there's teams on both sides. I think just defensively, if they're fully healthy come playoff time, it's going to be real tough to get past them. That's the Pelicans on the west side, and that's the Cleveland on the Eastern Conference side. Like, these two teams, it's going to be real tough, especially with the two bigs in the middle for Cleveland. Like, you're not going to be able to score in the paint. If your team can't hit perimeter shots, good luck beating this team.
Yeah, and Darius Garland out here looking like Forrest Whitaker, still getting buckets. You had to love to see that from him, and now we're getting to see that backcourt in full. I talked about it yesterday, Tyler, but I do think that Donovan Mitchell just getting to run the whole offense by himself for about a week and a half with the new teammates was good for the team's development overall. Cleveland's a team we have to like. I think that moved them to 6-1 now. We were high on them last year when nobody knew. We were still high on them this year, but I think everybody's along for the ride with us here. But a great story in Cleveland. It shows you really how to rebuild the right way. It's too bad that my team, the Sacramento Kings, will never be able to figure that out. I see a lively, active chat today. Diesel's in the chat. Our guy, Robert, what's up? Robert, it's not a new name anymore. Parabe, still here. Trap God, and he brought it up, Tyler. You said it yesterday, right? I said, well, it's a lot of points for the Spurs. They've been doing pretty good. And you said, the Raptors are going to blow this team out, and the Spurs aren't going to be able to score. 2 for 2 on that one.
I said 30, and they beat them by 43.
Yeah,
I mean that in that third quarter they just clamped down, just like we said in the playbook. They clamped down on defense. They squeezed all the life out of them. They could not score on offense, and the Raptors got whatever they wanted at the other end. And the moment these top guys started making their shots, there was no coming back. And I don't even think any of the main starters for the Raptors seen rotation minutes in the fourth. And Siakam still got his triple-double. So, I mean, God forbid that game was close for DFS purposes spread. Those guys would have absolutely smashed the games.
All right. I did take a quick trip to NBA Reddit last night after the games. People in Philadelphia are not happy as they fell to the Washington Wizards at home, right? Embiid wasn't in the game. And one of the criticisms, which I actually agreed with the Philadelphia fans, one thing I do like to do is there's so much crap on those Reddits, but a lot of those guys are really diehard fans of the team, and they're just only watching their team. So they're seeing things that we might not see flipping through all the channels on League Pass. But why wasn't Paul Reed getting minutes, right? They continue to go small with these other guys. Paul Reed was effective down low, and Porzingis just got anything that he want, right? He looked like that guy back in New York when we thought that Phil Jackson actually made a good draft pick so many years ago. Did either of you guys have eyes on that game? I'll be honest, I missed most of it, but Wizards are now 4-4. Sixers are 4-5. What are your thoughts on both these teams? Start with you, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, didn't have many eyes on this game, getting ready to leave for work around that time. Also, the weird start time really threw me off for this one.
Yeah, because they wanted the Phillies to be on prime time, right?
Yeah, which, I mean, it makes sense when you got the best team in Philadelphia. Well, maybe the best team in Philadelphia. We got the other team on tonight. But, I mean, as for the Sixers, I think they can bring it back together. Like, we've seen them do this before a few years ago. Even last year, they had spurts where it's like, this team looks like they're just going to flat out die. Then they come through and they win 10 in a row, and it's like, oh, they're right back. So not really as worried about them as much. And when we talked about Washington in the preview spread, I'm always going to go back to this. We said it. When they're healthy, they're going to be a decent, solid team. But they're
decent.
All made
I think that's the perfect word for it. They're decent.
Yeah, they're all made of glass. So it's like this team is eventually going to just get injury riddled. Porzingis is going to be on the injury report. Beal will hit the injury report. Kuzma will start popping up questionable, and that's when this team's going to start to fall off a cliff. But until then, they'll win games and cover some decently high spreads.
Yeah, good veteran team there in Washington. Our guy, Robert, says that Doc Rivers is a garbage coach, and Philly's ready to agree.
That either.
What do you think, Kurt? Did you see any of that one? And if you were a 76ers fan, would you be concerned by the slow start to the season? I personally am not. The season takes forever.
So. I would be concerned. I do, as someone who watched a lot of Paul Reed in college, the fact that he wasn't even in the rotation was like, well, that
what was that?
He can do, like, he's so versatile. Like, I mean, he definitely deserves to at least be in the rotation.
They used him last year. I don't get why they won't use him.
Yeah, I think he's a good guy to have off the bench for sure. Him not being in the rotation is crazy. I would be a little bit concerned. I mean, it's still so early in the season. You can't be too, I mean, especially when you got a team in the World Series. I mean, no like, people in Philly, there's no need to even worry about basketball right now. I would just wait till about December. But as far as Washington goes, I need to go out and see them while they're all completely healthy, because I agree with you guys. They're all made of glass. That I want to go see them while they're all healthy, because they're all pretty fun to watch, and they're all pretty good DFS players. You can stack that up while they're all healthy. So I need to definitely go out and check them out, because I do think they're scrappy as hell when they're healthy.
All right. Tyler, hopefully we won't be able to use this one often, right? Because it's kind of a morbid trend, but your trend got home again when the Hawks went ahead and defeated the Knicks. Didn't look so good for us in the first half, but it was DeJounte season. What were your thoughts on the Knicks unable to get it done at home against Atlanta?
I'm not even going to gloat about that win very much, spread, because I don't know if it's as much as the Hawks decided they were going to win that game, or if the Knicks were just like, we can't shoot anymore for the rest of this game, and the Hawks just decided they were just going to play average basketball, ran up the score on them as the Knicks just couldn't put the ball in the basket, and then when they finally decided they were going to score again, they were so far behind they couldn't catch up. So I'll take the money line win, but I'm not sure if it was the Hawks busting back into that game spread or if it was just the Knicks being bad. So got to look more into that one.
All right, Kurt, can I take a second to complain about the officiating? Did you see the end of the Miami Heat game? That was a travel. But the Heat get it done, and the
Celtics game, Tatum got fouled.
Oh, yeah, on that one? Yeah.
What the fuck?
The Hornets didn't get it done for us last night, Tyler. That was a play that I missed on the sheet. I thought they could keep it close against Chicago. You got to be impressed, right? We talked about this was a tough spot coming off that hard game.
We also kind of got killed by the injury news. We all thought Levine was going to sit, ends up playing.
Yeah.
So,
and then White was.
That's life in the NBA streets, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, a little disappointing there, but hey, we got to keep that in mind. Maybe on the back-to-back fade. Sometimes these teams, I don't know. Charlotte just might not be very good. 3-5, but they feel a lot worse. The Bucks improved to 7-0. Don't really have a lot to talk about there. The Clippers finally got a win. don't really have a lot to talk about there. The Jazz fell to the Mavericks, and the Grizzlies fell to the Trailblazers, or beat the Trailblazers. Anything you saw in those two games, Tyler, that we should take note going forward? I thought it was a good win for Dallas. Utah looked to be in control of the full game. Nice win there for Dallas. And then, of course, the Grizzlies were in control of that one too. The Blazers, pushed if you got it at the right time, but that did close at 4.5. So a lot of people missed out if you took the Blazers plus the points. Any thoughts on those 4 Western Conference teams? Because those are teams I think that we'll be looking to target and bet on in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas looked really good. They were able to put it together. Utah is still a scrappy team spread. And I mean, DraftKings has some lines up for tomorrow's games where we have a lot bigger of a slate. I mean, Utah +2 against the Lakers. Just like I said, these guys shooting can't continue. I might be on that money line there, spread at a dog price. And as for some of the other ones, I mean, Portland, they're just going to be a running up and down team. They're just going to run up scores. When they're hitting their threes, the games will go over that they'll win because they're going to hang 130 on you, and you just got to try and keep up. But, I mean, as for the other two, we're not really much on them.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the Trailblazers would be able to cover that spread. Obviously, it came really close, right? It was 5 if you got it there.
I mean, Bane's just continuing to get better every year. It's insane. The fact that the Celtics could have Desmond Bane on this roster is just sickening. The guy is so good. I mean, he can do it all, too.
I don't know if he would have had the opportunity there.
Who would they have picked? Who would have been the swap there?
I think he would have got lost there.
Langford or Naismith, one of them.
Oh, so just guys that don't matter.
He's talking about the missed draft opportunity. Kurt, let's talk about some of the teams that are disappointing so far this season. A lot of drama in Brooklyn. I really don't want to get into the Kyrie comments, but I think that most people are disappointed by that. And then I think what matters more on the basketball perspective, Nash is out. I don't know if it's official yet, but it seems like everyone's just assuming that Udoka is in. This team is 2-6. We saw this with the Los Angeles Lakers. You overpay for all these stars. You got 3 guys and no role players around you in a team sport. I mean, there's games that both KD and Kyrie go off, and the team doesn't even seem close. Just like in Los Angeles, there's games where LeBron's getting 30, AD's getting 25. They're both great plays in daily fantasy, and the Lakers lose by 10. If you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, and I know there's not many, I talk about going to subreddits. I mean, talk about a dead subreddit, the Brooklyn Nets subreddit. I mean, come on. But if you were a Brooklyn Nets fan or you knew one or they actually did exist, would you be worried about this team? Because I'm telling you what, this looks to be another top-heavy team that's not going to have the role players to support it. Do you think Udoka can get in there and fix this, or do you think this is just a huge PR blunder that's just going to keep compounding?
Is that for me? Because I think they should just rip off the band. I think they should rip off the Band-Aid and see what they can. Obviously, they can't get shit for Kyrie, but I mean, I know they were asking too much for Durant, but he wants out. I think you just rip off the Band-Aid, get what you can get for Durant, cut ties with Kyrie, as crazy as that sounds, or maybe try to get a extremely low ball offer. But I think you just rip off the Band-Aid and just try to grow. Hope Ime can kind of just develop a new roster for the next 5-10 years maybe. But I mean, yeah, just rip off the Band-Aid, Brooklyn.
Tyler, do you think Udoka can fix this mess?
I mean, I think you can put a defensive-minded mentality in them. I'm just not sure the roster's good enough to where they could win. There's some good pieces there, but I don't even think a good coach is going to be able to put it together. I think, just like Kurt said, you got to rip the Band-Aid off. You got to kind of just rebuild this thing if you're going to bring this coach in. The other thing, too, about the coaching thing, too, Spread, is you see what the Boston guys are saying about this? Marcus Smart's saying, he's we thought he was just going to be suspended for the year. He'd be back. And now all of a sudden he's coaching in a new place. He was those guys are all confused. They don't know what's going on. So not good for the Boston locker room either. And I think you just bringing them to Brooklyn, that just adds more gasoline to the fire up there. Not good.
Apparently, there's rumors going around that Jalen was the one that ratted on his ass. So
Jaylen Brown
and him had beef. Low-key beef.
Okay, well, did you hear the other rumor?
What's that?
He was messing with one of the players' girls?
Probably Jalen's.
I mean, now I'm putting
this man
it all
is
together.
a fucking menace, dude. This man needs to be stopped. Him and Josh Taylor. My God. I mean, this dude, woo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's in Brooklyn and not out here in Sacramento, right? I don't want him as a coach of the Kings. I'm not going to any of the games if that's the case. But yeah,
do not bring your wife to the games.
Yeah,
do not bring your
Who's the better duo, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, or Ime Udoka and AB?
God.
Yeah,
Mr. Still your girl.
Yeah, don't let Primo and AB go to the pool together.
Speaking of, like, what about like Lars Pippen? Ime is definitely piped Pippen's ex-wife, right? For sure. This man's a menace. I'm assuming
he's too old.
Yeah,
he might be too old for her.
That's true. She'd be like,
she's probably preferring people in your age range, Kurt. You know,
shit, yeah, that's true.
Swipe right if you find her on Tinder.
Facts.
All right. Any other National Basketball Association stuff? The Clippers was the team that I was talking about yesterday with Tyler that I have.
Uh-oh.
I think we might have lost spread.
Oh, no.
Oh, you got check.
Oh, you're back.
All right. Try this again. But Kurt, I was telling Tyler yesterday, the Clippers, it's a team that I'm worried about because I don't know if Kawhi's ever going to come back. And boy, pull up their roster. How many of their guys are 32 years old, right? That's the age a lot of these players fall off, right? If you're not LeBron or just some insanely talented dude. Should there be concern in Clippers land, or do you think they just get healthy and go on a run? I know they're a well-coached team. I know they're deep. Powell's 32, Covington's 32, PG's 32. I don't even know how old Kawhi is, but his knee's about 85. Is there concern in Clippers land? Do you think they miss the playoffs again?
I would be concerned, and I would also be concerned about what their roster will look like in 5 years and what hopefully SGA and this Thunder roster will look like in 5 years.
Yeah.
When SGA is at an MVP level right now. You did that trade and you didn't get a championship or even two. Even you didn't even win the Western Conference. So it's like now it's looking real bad. If this Thunder can put something together and SGA can be a leader of that team like he's looked this year, they might be really salty in about 5 years for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting things going on there. A team that we've talked about, right? And Travis has given me a lot of guff. Travis, who comes on the show on Tuesday, is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they haven't looked good so far. I thought that Rudy would really help them in the regular season, but this team is not meshing. I had the Timberwolves to be a 50-win team this year. Kurt, should I start thinking that I'm going to be taking the L here, or is this way too early to write off the Timberwolves?
I've not got to watch a complete Timberwolf game, but if it's a spacing thing, Ant can't really beat Ant right now. He's kind of hinted to it about how he just can't get in the lane. We kind of thought the two bigs would be a thing that works in the regular season, but I'm kind of torn on thinking maybe it just won't work at all in this current NBA, or maybe it's just a thing where they just need to get kind of some rhythm. That could also be it. But man, yeah, you kind of thought that they would come out the gates and be able to just impose their will on people and get every single rebound, but damn, it's not. I'd be a little bit concerned, to be honest.
Yeah, and one thing about Ant, though, getting to the rim, he's averaging 14 drives per game where he actually gets to the paint. Last season was only 10. So he is getting to the rim.
I think that's him taking more usage from D'Angelo than anything.
Oh, that's fine with me. What's up, West Coast? Do I need to get a haircut? I have been lagging on it. He's not happy about it. I'll tell you what, you're not the only one. One thing that's going on with my hair is that it doesn't really want to grow anymore, especially up here. I'm trying to hide it. So West Coast says, hey, just bite the bullet, shave it off, and I'll probably have to take your advice. Tyler, any more general NBA topics you want to discuss before we get into tonight's slate?
Just to touch on that Minnesota one, I'm out on this team just until they show me some life spread. I'm not sure how they – it just seems like they're clogging the lanes for Ant. I know he's driving more, but how many dunks has he put up this year? 0. The dude just can't get to the rim and finish. So I'm out on this team. I'm calling it now. Spread. It's mine for tomorrow. Best bet, Milwaukee -3.5. Dibs on that tomorrow against Minnesota.
You're calling your best bets early. Hey, you messaged me and you gave me the best bet for Atlanta early. So your early best bets are a way to go. 69 people watching. Nice. Go ahead and give us that thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Helps out an algorithm of some sort. I don't know. I have friends that did all that tech stuff. Maybe I should ask them, but give us a thumbs up.
No, you're good. You're good. No, okay. You cut it in and out.
I'll bet you it's Hoop cutting my internet because I keep giving out the free plays even though we don't get likes. Is Hoop in the backyard somewhere cutting my stuff? All right. Let's get into tonight's slate. The Golden State Warriors are -9 in Orlando, taking on, the best rookie we've seen, Paolo Banchero, and the Orlando Magic on a total of 226, plus 310 if you want to get crazy with the Magic on the money line. Tyler, let's start with you. And DJ's going to love this. I haven't inputted the projections yet, DJ, so go ahead and make your cracks now. But Tyler, talk to me about the Warriors and the Magic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird game. The Warriors should be able to just walk in, trounce on this team. There's no guards for the Magic. They should just be able to get out there, Steph and these guys pull. They should just have big games. But it's also that spot where are they going to get up for this game? They're playing a bad team. Let me look and see if they play again on Friday and if this is a back-to-back for them. Because if it's a back-to-back, we might be taking the dog here. Yeah, it's a back-to-back, and then they go to New Orleans tomorrow. So do we think they care about this game more or a team they could possibly see in the playoffs in New Orleans? I'm going to lean towards they care more about tomorrow. If I had to pin me down to a side here, just give me Orlando plus the points. I don't see Golden State really putting their foot on their neck here. Maybe they beat them up in the first half, and then they just kind of coast to a win after that. So probably be on the Magic here plus the points.
Yeah, I actually put them in. I just haven't put them in front of me. So I'm going to do that right now while Kurt goes ahead and breaks down this game. What are your thoughts here, Kurt? The Warriors taking on the Magic.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you guys. I do think that they're going to have a tough time getting up for the game. I wouldn't mind the play. I've also been a fan. I'm a big Bobo guy. I told you all I thought Bobo would have a breakout year for as a rotation player.
We had to take the L there. You were right.
So I've been turning into a lot of these games. They're scrappy as hell. They're going to have some games where they just get dog kicked, especially when they don't have any of these guards. I think Golden State's guard, like Poole and Curry, were just going to be able to do what the hell they want tonight. But I do think the size will kind of get, despite that every single position for the Magic will kind of bother the Warriors a little bit. Enough to cover because I don't think they'll get up for the game. But I do think Draymond will kind of psych himself up for this game as a kind of a way to say, I want to stop Paolo, the rookie. I kind of want to give him a taste of what the NBA is like when you're being guarded by an elite defender. So I think that'll kind of be Draymond's psyche going into the game as far as trying to get any kind of pump up for this game at all. So I hate Paolo tonight. I try to find Suggs' props. I couldn't find him. He shot terrible last game, played 28 minutes in his return. They need a guard out there, and if Terrence Ross is out, they're going to need him to do something. And it's not their best matchup, but I think Suggs can drop like 20 here, casually, 20 real points. I love 5,700. I will have some Jalen Suggs. Bobo's, man, he's too expensive for me, but I've been playing him every day. I might just do it.
You're not going to play Bol?
I might just play to honor him, but I don't think he's going to get there. He's got to be extremely efficient, especially now that he's on the floor with like all of these high usage guys. Like it's not like he's just coming in on the second unit now, so it makes it even more tough. Jordan Poole, like I said, is probably going to have a bounce back game. They have no guards. Wiggins continues to be a god amongst men. I mean, him turning into like a DFS legend is just amazing. He's fucked me in some showdowns, but I do like the second game more. It might be because I've been digging into it more because I did the showdown playbook already. So if y'all want to check that out. But yeah, my biggest stance is I think the Golden State guards get off, and I do like Jalen Suggs as well.
All right, so let's say I want to start this lineup, and I want to get three pieces. I just threw Suggs in. I threw some Poole in. Now I've got my guard spots. Maybe we'll have to adjust this when we get to the next game. Who would you suggest as a third spot here?
I think Looney's popping as the best value on Saber, so they probably will need his size. He can probably get there in 20 minutes. I mean, it's a 2-game slate. You don't have that much value. And I feel like instead of playing the OKC Thunder value roulette, take the 20-some minutes and get
Isn't it?
Yeah, just take the 20-some minutes from Looney,
It really is value roulette. I mean, it's just an MME dream there, but it is tough if you're only running 2 or 3 lineups like I've been doing as of late here. Talk about some trends here. Golden State is 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. The total's gone over in 6 of Golden State's last 6 game. Golden State is 14-4 in their last 18 against Orlando, but they're 1-4 ATS on the road. Orlando, how about this one? 4-1 straight up in their last 5 at home against the Golden State Warriors. So maybe, just maybe, these Warriors are enjoying some of that Florida nightlife. Tyler, props for this game.
Orlando nightlife.
Yeah,
no, Florida. Is Orlando not fun?
No,
What, you
it's
don't think these guys are? You don't think these guys are pulling tail at Disney World?
Hey, they're hitting them roller coasters. They're getting like jet lag from the roller coasters or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, props for this game though. I mean, just like you said, Jordan Poole should have a decent game. If I'm backing any of these guards from Golden State, it's probably him, because I think if the other two, if this game gets out of hand, the other two definitely go to the bench first, to where he could still see some minutes. Over 2.5 threes plus 120 on that. I don't mind that. He's going to chuck a ton of shots. Wiggins at 16.5 points. He has a decent matchup here also, like that. And then, I mean, outside of that, probably the only two props in that game for me. I mean, maybe if you want to take a sprinkle on a Looney plus 600 double-double, I don't hate it, because he could get there, but probably just going to play those two, and that's it.
All right. Yeah, I put these in. I actually pinned in the numbers last night, but I didn't put them on the playbook because I had done it early, and I didn't want to take out the stuff in case people were getting to the playbook late. Of course, if you guys want to know about the playbook I'm talking about, if you're a member of runpuresource.com, it's on the bets page, NBA playbook. Tyler and I go through each game. I run some projections that everyone except for DJ loves. And then we go ahead and we give, which way it would go. And the idea there on me putting the projection straight in there, what if the line moves, right? I mean, a lot of times I do this around now. Maybe you're not betting the game till right beforehand. So you just go, oh, well, he said to take the Magic +9. Now the Magic, let's say they move to 7.5. Well, you can look. Here's what the projection is, and then you can decide what the edge is. So I do like the Magic +9. I do like the over in this game. Kurt, it's funny. I'm projecting an over in this game and an under in the next game, but you said that you like the next game more. Do you think that I'm wrong on this total?
I think I just trust the higher P. I like the value more in this game. I wanted to mention it, and so I think this would be a good game to take shot. Let's not forget the first 2-game slate of the NBA season. The optimal for a 2-game slate was JaMychal Green. He's there again. They're going to need some length, 3,600. I'm going to take a shot on Wiseman. The men's haven't been there, but you never know. Could be the game where they give Wiseman 20 minutes, 3,500. Moody, I think he's going to be in the rotation, obviously, because Dante's still out. But another guy if it is if it is a blowout, he's going to play, and he's going to play he'll play his normal 15 minutes if the game's close. So I think he's worth taking a shot on, because I said he's another one of those guards. So I do like the value in this game more for the Golden State value, and we don't really have much Magic value. But yeah, for the Golden State value, I think these are the good guys to take shots on. One of these cheap Golden State guys.
Tyler, anything more on this game before we move on?
No, that's it for me on that game. I think we
Denver?
touched on everything. I didn't see anybody in the DFS pricing that I would call out this one.
Yeah, Kurt gave us a great DFS breakdown. I was only going to make 2 lineups tonight. Now you make me want to put 3, because I want to kind of run one with Wiseman and then maybe one with Looney, but it has the same one. So
I think I'm running the same center in mine. I think he's in the next game.
Spencer, we'll save these questions for a little later. I'll throw it on the screen, but we'll keep talking about basketball right now. I don't even know where that one came from. Maybe I haven't listened to the old guys pod yesterday. I'll probably do that this afternoon while I'm getting some work in, sweating, and I'll hear myself be slandered even though I wasn't able to make it. How much fun will that be? Who's this one he's talking about? If Ross is out, I like.
Oh, do not play Caleb Houston. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't do that. Oh, my God. I don't care if Houston. Okay, did you see what Romeo Langford did last night?
That was bad.
Caleb Houston is worse than Romeo Langford. He is trash. Get Steve Boynton on the fucking video right now. I need someone to help me slander this guy. He sucks. Michigan sucks too.
All right, well, there we go. Kurt, bring in some fire today.
Let's see if fire up Kurt some more. What about Chuma Kiki?
Okay, I like Chuma. I love Chuma. I love him in college. I think he's been hurt so much that he can't be the player that he was going to be if he didn't get hurt a lot. But I would much rather play Chuma Kiki. I mean, I know he's talking about targeting a guard if Ross is out, but honestly, I'd rather play the forward on a team that has a bunch of forwards than Chuma Kiki than play Caleb freaking Houston.
Caleb Houston isn't even guard eligible on DK. I don't know if he is on FanDuel. He's small forward, power forward on DK.
That makes sense. He should be shooting guard eligible, though, honestly, especially on this roster.
All right. Let's take one little detour real quick, because you're our expert here for Florida nightlife. What's worse for nightlife, Orlando or Jacksonville? Your thoughts, Kurt?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Jacksonville because I don't know. Maybe Orlando.
Jacksonville's actually worse. I thought Jacksonville would be more fun to hang out in.
God, that's really close. I'm just gonna say Orlando because maybe like you have some of these stars in town and maybe they show up at a place or some shit.
All right, he's not partying with Tony Khan and the owners of the Jacksonville.
Right, if we had to rank these off the California cities, and I don't know much about Florida, but the way I think this is going to play out, LA is Miami, San Diego is like Orlando, and Sacramento is Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say Orlando was?
Orlando's got to be San Diego.
What? Whoa! San Diego's the best thing in the world.
But Miami's going to be LA. Well, I'm just basing him off of
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, unless you want to bring Tampa into it.
Hey, that's my hometown now, don't.
Where is Tampa better to party in than Jacksonville and Orlando?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so Tampa's
not that much worse than Miami. I mean, Miami, but it's not that much worse than Miami. What?
Is Tampa the San Fran of the East Coast?
No, San Fran's fun to hang out in.
Yeah, I was say so. Yeah,
San Francisco's pretty cool, especially if
not
you don't
San
have a
Diego.
car that you have to worry about getting broken into.
That's a great reference because it's not like Miami, but it's still got some. It's still a good town to go to visit for sure.
Gotcha.
And people in San Francisco, they're not into normal stuff. I can see some NBA players staying up all night long.
They got bushes.
Yeah, with those San Francisco women. At that note, let's move on to the Denver Nuggets taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, another known party city, right? OKC, I can't imagine what these players are getting into there. But we do know that Thunder are getting into plus 6.5 on the point spread. Total of 229, plus 215 if you want to get crazy on the Thunder. Hey, the Thunder don't win a lot of games, but they cover a lot of spreads. They are 5-0 against the Nuggets, against the spread, not straight up, against the spread in their last 5 games. And Tyler, we'll start with you, but I know when we go to DFS, the first thought is going to be spend up for Shea here, spend up for Jokic. It's a very interesting game from a daily fantasy perspective. But let's get into the bets. I'll go ahead and give you mine first already. I already know because I didn't put them in the playbook yet, but I've already ran it. I have this at 114 to 111, which means you go ahead and take the Thunder and take the under. What do you think?
I'm with you here. Give me the Thunder. I do not trust this Denver team, especially on the road, to cover bigger spreads like this. Like even on the road when they're -2, sometimes it's hard to trust them. They come up flat in games. They try and win them from behind a lot. And OKC with both these guys, Giddey and SGA on the floor, if they get a nice lead spread, they might not look back and they might not let this team back in to win the game. So I'm going to take the points. And as the game goes on, I might live bet OKC's money line depending on how this game looks. So definitely like the OKC side here. Even think they have a chance at winning the game outright.
All right. One thing, and we talked about it with Golden State a bit, right? Trying to integrate new guys instead of trying to win now. And I think the Nuggets are doing some of that, trying to get Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back. Kurt, first give me your thoughts on my side and my total play, and then go ahead and break this down from a daily fantasy perspective. First, give us your thoughts if you're building from a 2-game slate, and then we'll go ahead and you can give us, a brief synopsis of the showdown playbook that you made, who to look at Captain. And of course, if you want to see that playbook, head on over to runpuresports.com, become a member. And while I'm throwing out promos, give us the thumbs up. Kurt, Nuggets, Thunder, your thoughts.
So I don't mind the under on this. I mean, I like the spend ups for DFS, but I don't mind betting the under. I think this game will be more competitive. Even though I do like Orlando keeping it somewhat close, I think there's more likelihood that the first game is going to get blown out. I mean, that's the elephant in the room, obviously. So but then you have OKC, and if Giddey and SGA are grooving, it's great. But what if they just do that shit where they just don't start SGA the second half? It's scary. I'm going to play SGA, but I'm just saying, as far as I would not bet a line here. I would just take the over under. And if you like the under, I'm going to leave you. You're the expert for that, so I'm cool with that. For DFS, Giddey is, I know he had his blow-up game without SGA, I'm pretty sure, but he seems a guy for $7K, you can get a 50-point ceiling if it's going right. Obviously, I wouldn't play him with SGA. I think his big game will come if SGA is not having that great of a day. You're playing roulette with these values. Jokic, I think I don't like his ceiling with all these, or his consistent ceiling with all these guys back. But on a 2-game slate, take the raw points for sure. I'm biggest on, just like Suggs, I'm biggest on Jamal Murray. I know he's been dusty this year. He had his first game, 32 minutes against LA. That's good to see. He finally got past that threshold. And then they get like a 3-day break, which is rare at this time of the year for the NBA. So now he plays 32 minutes and he gets this long break. He shot 21 times. It's a game that I think is going to be close. He's 5,600. I think he'll hit his three threes, his 23.5 points, rebounds, assist prop I hit. I mean, I'm playing him in every single lineup. I think Murray scores like 25 real points here. So I'm smashing Murray and Suggs. The 5,600, 5,700 Tambo.
All right. I like that one. Now let's say we just want to play the showdown mode. Who have you looked at for captain, and how much different is it playing a showdown than a 2-game slate when you're doing your DFS prep?
I actually would I like the showdown slate much better because it's a competitive game. We don't really know what the hell's going to happen in that Golden State game. So I like the showdown much better. I think you can kind of pick two routes. Like I mentioned about Jokic with like Porter and Murray in the lineup, he doesn't have that, okay, every night he's going to get 60 at least. That's not how it is this year. So you can get cute on these Denver showdowns. You can save like 2K by going SGA at the captain, and he's been averaging more and had more ceiling games than Jokic this year. And then also for my GPP, I just did Captain Murray. It lets me kind of jam in a lot more studs, and I also think he goes off. So that makes sense, and it kind of leaves me not having to do more than one dart on one of these cheap OKC guys, which is nice because, doing their darts is just tough. I almost just wanted to take
Braun guy from Denver, 3,200.
I think his fantasy points per minute's terrible. His usage is terrible, but I think Malone loves him as a player. I think he does fit. He's super unselfish, but man, he will not be aggressive. He wasn't even aggressive in Summer League when it was his fucking team. So don't love that. I think if Bones is back, that definitely hurts his minutes. If Bones is out, I mean, I hope people go to him because he just doesn't he's just not that aggressive.
And then a different cheap guy on that Denver team up in the front court, Jeff Green. I mean, just looking at these minutes, 17, 25, 22, 20, 20, 19, 15. Those are pretty solid minutes, and the fantasy points are there, double digits in every game. So it's like cheap guys are going to be hard to come by. That might be one right there. It's pretty solid.
I mean, the fact that, have you seen, like, if you look at the showdown pricing, like Bruce Brown's like, it's insane how much of a price difference between Bruce Brown and Jeff Green is, because with everyone back, I mean, the fantasy points are basically the same, and you're saving a shit ton by just going Jeff Green. So I don't mind that at all.
Tyler, were we playing some props in this game? I looked over it from a tight and total perspective. Other than, just the Shea smash, is there any like smaller spots I should be looking at? What do you think?
I mean, maybe you can get in on some Giddy. I would do this if I'm going to get in on him. It would be his points, rebounds, and assists. You're getting at 26.5. I think that's pretty low for him. We know he loves to stuff the stat sheet, so definitely can get there. KCP threes could also be a spot here, and maybe even some MPJ threes, because I'm not sure they're going to be able to put a guy like Dort on him. I think he's just way too tall. He's going to shoot up over Dort. So Porter Jr. could hit a ton of threes in this matchup also. Those would be some props I'm looking at. And just like you said, going right back to SGA, his points plus assists. If you just want to bet his points alone, you can go to Jokic and do the same thing with him. PRA, points plus rebounds. If you want to bet his triple-double, you could do that also.
All right. Anything else for this game, Kurt, before we give out the best bets?
Just be careful with how much OKC exposure you have, especially that I would not take. I would much rather just play one of the Golden State values. And that sounds crazy, but like their ceiling is not as good as some of these cheap OKC guys, but damn it, their floor is a lot better in my opinion. I would limit to one OKC punt.
Okay, I think that's some good advice for the people. Any questions in the chat? He says Saber loves Giddy. Are you surprised?
Nah, the way you stuff the stat sheet, 7K. The ceiling's ridiculous. Not surprised at all.
Okay. And of course, if you're not using the Saber Sim Optimizer and you'd like to start doing that, head on over to runpuresports.com. We are in a partnership with Saber Sim. Hey, they're constantly working on updates, right? Anytime there's a problem, they're fixing it. And hey, I know people are using it, right? Because at the beginning of the season, it was crashing because so many people were jumping on as the Up to Lock show was going off, and Big T and JSU were giving out the winners, and we're adjusting our projections. But I think they've worked out those bugs. We're able to produce multiple winning lineups, and of course, with the help of SaberSim, you can do that at runpuresports.com. My guy Arizona says stacked OKC and the Nuggets in the 2-game slate. Do you agree with that, Kurt?
I mean, I would hope that you're playing toward – if you're doing that script, I hope you're saying, okay, the first game blows out and you're getting at least like the guys who benefit from the blowout in the first game. So like I hope
don't
you're
think
taking
it's
like a
gonna
guy
blow
like
out,
Moody.
personally.
Well, yeah, but if he's
you're
stacking
going to
up,
get this
I
going to be
agree.
young guns. I think
Yeah.
that Kurz right now is like if I'm going to compete in the playoffs, right? I can't lose these bench minutes, which means I need to get 10 to 15 from Moody. I need to get 10 to maybe even 20 from Kuminga, and Wiseman's got to at least be an acceptable backup center. I can't get absolutely crushed in those minutes. Wiseman might need a stint in the G League, but right now they're trying it up top. I am really concerned on the idea that first game is going to blow out. So I guess that's my concern with stacking that game. I think that I don't know. Am I just being a pansy if I say I want equal exposure on each game?
I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I'm also hedging it by like a guy like Moody who's going to play in a close game, and then you just get extra run from the blowout. I mean, he can get there both ways. So
yeah,
kind of
that's a good point.
The 76ers team can't catch a break. Harden's already rolled out for tomorrow.
Who?
Harden.
Maxi season?
I mean, it's been Maxi season even with Harden in there.
I mean, that's so crazy that he's basically like De'Aaron Fox on a winning team. All right, Tyler, we've been absolutely crushing these best bets. Let's see what Arizona says. Actually, this is a good point. Kuminga hasn't been getting minutes. Good point, but I think they still know that they need him. Wiseman is good per minute in DFS, but awful on the defensive side. He ain't going to see minutes. Okay, let me see. Kuminga hasn't been getting minutes. Completely agreed, but I'm just saying the potential is there, and Kerr's into development. Wiseman is good per minute in DFS, but awful on the defensive side. Completely agree there too. He's really struggling picking things up, and I know that we had helped on his tutelage from Draymond Green, but that doesn't seem to be happening. He ain't going to see minutes. I don't know. I disagree. Kurt's been pretty stubborn almost about doing what's best for the long-term development of these younger guys and not trying to win and cover right now. So we'll see Arizona drama, but you made some great points, and we're glad to have you and the rest of these guys in the chat. If you enjoy what we're doing, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, because why not, Tyler? We've just been crushing on these best bets, and we're going to do it again today. We're going to start with you today, Tyler. Side, total, or prop?
Can we kick it to Kurt first?
Yeah, Kurt, what do you got for us? What's your best bet, side, total, or prop?
It's not out yet, but I'm going to do a parlay of Suggs, points prop, bet the over, and Jamal Murray, points, rebounds, assists, over. But my solo one would just be Jamal Murray, points, rebounds, assists, over, and an alternate line. I think he scores 25 points by itself, but the safest bet would be points, rebounds, assists, 23.5, Jamal Murray.
All right. Kurt says it's Jamal Murray season tonight. Tyler, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, I like both dogs on the spread. But I do see the path both games will out, so I'm going to stay away from the sides here. Jordan Poole's hit three threes in 2 out of the last 3 games against the Magic. 2 out of the last 3 games this year. The Magic have no guards. I'm going to take them to hit 3 threes spread at plus 120.
All right. So that's Jordan Poole, 3 threes, plus 120. I'm going to go ahead and give out the Thunder. It's plus 6.5 right now. I like it even at plus 5.5. This is a 3-point game. Bonus pick, I'll take the under in that game. So the Thunder and the under. Let's go, NBA TV. I wonder how many people are going to be watching. We got the World Series on tonight.
That Harden injury isn't just tomorrow. He's out a month.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
He finally came in good shape, too. We can't even say that he's being lazy.
They're saying it is...
Is it the hammy again?
A foot tendon strain.
Wow, that's too bad for a guy that I felt maybe a little too late, but he showed his commitment to basketball in the offseason, showed up looking in shape. Tough blow for Philadelphia. Let's see how long their coach lasts. Maybe they can get another sexual predator to take over. Logan May says Moody, Green, and Looney leave 7.8K per player for the rest. What do you think of that start to a build, Kurt?
I don't mind that. Wait, JaMychal Green, I'm guessing, right?
It has to be Draymond, right? Well, we'll have to see. That's a good question. What do you think about this comment? Hot take. Aaron Gordon will be an optimal. Do you agree?
I don't mind that. He's been so steady. He's such a good fit for this team. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I like the 5.6. I like his price range for the guards, but no, that wouldn't really surprise me at all, to be honest. He's steady, Freddie. He could get his 35 and be optimal.
All right, I thought James was giving us a hot take there, but you're saying, hey, that's pretty reasonable.
It's a condom play. I will say that it's a very double condom play, in my opinion.
How's that? Explain to us older guys. What's a
he's
double
not going.
condom play?
I feel like as people in his price range, like, let's go to it right now. Let's just pull it up. Let's go to Gordon.
He clarified Jermichael Green.
Okay, yeah, I actually don't hate that. I mean, yeah, I mean you can go Baisley instead of like Jermichael Green, and you can kind of at least not have all the value on one team. But I don't hate it. I'll probably have that build in like a 20 max. Let's see, where's Aaron Gordon at? Yeah, I mean he's decently priced. I mean, shit, where's it? Damn. Yeah, 5,900. This guy's in this range. I don't think he's going to go for 45. I think Suggs could. I think Draymond could. I think Jamal Murray could. Clay's been absolutely garbage can, but he could go 45. Whereas Aaron Gordon, with everyone back, I think he's not hitting 40 in my opinion. Not with everyone healthy. So like it's a double condom play. I'd rather play someone who I think can get up to like 45 fantasy points.
Terrence Ross, your thoughts there?
If he plays, yeah, it's fine. I mean, he'll chuck 4,500. He'll probably lead the team in shot attempts, honestly, especially if I think Draymond shuts down Paolo.
All right. Yeah, no Jeff Green in my lineups tonight there, Logan. Tyler, did you cook up a home run parlay, or are we doing that Discord only today?
I think we're going to pass on the night spread. Only 2 games. We really can't do much with that unless we start throwing like a same-game parlay.
I was going to say, you can throw some football in there?
Nah, well, I think we're just going to leave tonight alone.
Okay, that's fine. But you got plenty of opportunity tomorrow. And, of course, we will be back tomorrow with AP. That's right. AP does the heat map every single day on runpuresports.com. If you're not using that tool to start your builds, you are missing out. AP does the DraftKings. Glaucoma does the FanDuel heat map. Great tool. Just another one of the great ways that Run Pure Sports brings you the best in daily fantasy and gambling information. Good show today. I'm surprised. I thought my hair looked good. Wow. I'm surprised we're getting slack there. Yeah, I know. I've had some bad ones, but I thought today was a little better than usual. But Kurt, I appreciate you bringing the fire. All we need to do is start bringing up, guys like Hugh Stain, and we're going to really get some great results there. And Tyler, once again, great information, great winners. Kurt, you're going to be back with us tomorrow, and we're doing that at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking some touchdowns, breaking down the whole NFL slate, and maybe if we're lucky, Kurt will give us an offensive line clinic, right? Show us where your hands are supposed to be. Show us how McCaffrey was able to hit those holes. And, hey, even throw a touchdown too. So we're looking forward to doing that. And then, of course, right after that, Tyler and I will be with AP to break down tomorrow's slates and give out some winning over bets for a Friday night. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Kurt, do you have any words of wisdom before we get out of here?
Not really. I mean, 2-gamer, so don't unload the bank yet. I like those bigger slates, but
Jamal
still have
Murray
some fun with
the
it.
Promised land.
I know, that's true. That's true. Shit, I did give out the nuts, so maybe we do go heavy tonight. Fuck it.
All right, let's do it. It's Jamal Murray season here on the NBA Rundown. Thank you for joining us. Run Pure.